guys, my name's Meg, aka Erect Dictator, and we are on our first ever podcast, known as the Dickies Corner, aka DC. So I have some lovely peeps here with me, and we're going to be going over a ton of different topics: movies, games, studio updates, all that jazz. Bear with me, I've got ADHD, I'm dyslexic, I can't read, I also can't talk, and I don't have my voice, because we've been doing a ton of just chatting streams, so I apologize for the deep, manly voice that I have today. I apologize. But we've got some awesome people here with us today, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and Cole, we will start with you, and then we'll just go around.
My name is Cole. My Twitch is Outkvst, Outkvst. I like first-person shooters. My favorite series is The Last of Us. I just got into the God of War series, and I'm obsessed with it. I currently am raising funds for my top surgery. So if you would like to support the cause, my PayPal is Outkvst1.
Sweet, and we got a link, or the link to it, the @ to it. I don't know how that works. Down in the description as well.
The thing.
The thing. That. That thing. Ciluna.
Sure. Hi, I am Ryan, aka Ciluna, and I am a content creator streamer on Twitch. Mostly playing Pokemon at the moment, and then some Apex on the side. Really into Pokemon Legends Arceus right now. Fantastic game, 10 out of 10. If anyone hasn't played it yet, I highly recommend to go and pick it up. But you can catch me at twitch.tv/Ciluna.
I collect Pokemon cards. My favorite.
Oh yeah, I've got my collection, my celebrations.
I've got a binder full of like real cool ones that I've kept, and they're pretty cool.
Nice.
I have one of those. I don't know where that went. I had it for like 20 years. But my name is ClubKevYumba. You guys can call me Yumba. I've been streaming on Twitch for about 2 years now. I'm a variety streamer with a heavy focus on open world and BRs, so like Apex, Warzone, that kind of thing. Warzone is currently unplayable, so I stopped playing Warzone.
Yeah.
So you can usually catch me on Apex. However, lately I've been playing Dying Light 2. So if you do stop by the channel, I'm probably going to be playing that for a little while. And like I guess my goal, if we're talking about that, is just one day to be a full-time content creator. But for now, I'm just enjoying the ride. But you can find me at twitch.tv/ClubKevYumba.
Yes. And everyone's links are in the description below, all their socials, all their Twitches, everything, so you guys are able to go and check them out, because they all are fantastic and they're super great. They support, guys. They all support. Like we all are in each other's streams. Like everyone's supporting. Go look at them. I kid you not. They also are fantastic. So to kind of like bounce off of that, if you guys don't mind, we are already like not going to focus on what we're supposed to be talking about today, because that's how I work. Why not? And I know you guys kind of like talked about the games that you guys are like focusing on like right now. What games have you guys like really like busted out? Most of you guys are variety streamers. So what games have you guys like super like really enjoyed playing? What games are you looking forward to do and enjoy later here soon? Maybe it's a new game, maybe it's one that's already been out, or maybe it's one that you just found out. So give me the rundown in any order.
Like I said, I literally just played like God of War for the first time. I beat it in like 2 days. I couldn't stop playing it. It was a little bit outside of my comfort zone, because I usually don't like play stuff like that. I usually play like, Call of Duty. I've played The Last of Us 2, I think like 9 times now. But my plan now is to kind of just go find all the rest of them and play all of them.
I get that.
I'm being told to buy Animal Crossing when I get my Switch too, so
10 out of 10 would recommend. Yeah, for sure.
Add Legends Arceus to that list too, because it's very good. So
Yes.
I know I convinced Meg to pick up Legends Arceus.
Yep.
I've definitely been playing it on stream a lot, and it is fantastic. It's not such a shift that it's an unrecognizable game from the original games, but they've really gone about to make it its own unique thing, and it's a very well designed, well thought out RPG. It's just beautiful to play. I'm really hoping this year that we're gonna get Let's Go Johto. I'm not gonna let that go. Pokemon Company are gonna hear from me every day about that. I want Let's Go Johto. I need it in my life. I'm hearing some rumors, so hopefully, knock on wood, we'll get that here this year.
That's exciting, for sure.
Yeah, very exciting.
So like I said, I've been playing Dying Light 2. I think Dying Light 1 came out, like 6 years ago, I want to say. 2014, 2015 when I released, I think. So actually, probably looking at that. So I'm gonna be no-lifing that. I think they said it takes about 500 hours to like complete at 100%. So I'm gonna get as close to that as possible.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know. I might burn out.
That's
I might burn out,
dedication.
but we'll see.
Oh,
But when I first started streaming, I had actually gotten a like a creator key, like an early access key to a game by a small developer company, and it was called Dreamscaper, and it was like the first episode that they had made, like the first, I guess, like initial like level to the game, and that was 2 years ago. But this month they're actually launching the full launch of the game. I think later this month. It's called Dreamscaper, so I'm probably going to be trying that out again. It's been a while since I played it, so I'm pretty excited about that. But the other game that I've been looking at is Sifu, and if you don't know what Sifu is, it's pretty much like a martial arts game where every time you die, the main character gets older. So every time you die, you get closer to like I guess like eternal death. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of fun, and I've seen some gameplay for it. So I think that releases this month as well, like or later this month as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
I would probably be an old grandma
That's awesome.
before the prologue got done. so you'd be coming out of the prologue like a granny, and it's like, "Ooh, I only got one life left." Oh, no, that sounds interesting. Yeah, the only way to play it. Yeah. Only way to play it. There's a ton of new games that are coming out, and we'll get to that honestly like here pretty soon. We're gonna talk about some movies first. But I'm excited for Apex Season 12. I'm excited for that. We're gonna go ahead right now and just talk about that new legend, like real fast. I'm assuming all of you guys have played Apex at some point in your life. Ciluna, I know you've been busting it down here recently on Apex. So I know so many people who are like, season's ending, gotta you know, not upper clutch up, gotta get in there, gotta get in there. Yep. Everyone's like, gotta get in there. Or like everyone's like sitting back and relaxing, and they're like, okay, like I'm happy where I'm at ranked. Now I can just kind of like wait until it resets and then like really grind it out to like try to push up as high as I can as soon as possible. But
it's so stressful.
Yeah.
These last few days of each season.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like I feel like the last like 2 weeks of Apex, everyone becomes even more sweaty. Like when the season first starts out, everyone's like, yeah, this is great, like woo, like you might get finished a couple of times, and in the middle of season it's like nobody really like cares about that. But at the end of the season, the moment you get knocked, somebody is on you finishing you because they want that kill. Like they want that kill, they want that stat. Like they're like, I gotta you know, gotta make it big, like gotta get up there or whatever it may be. Or like gotta have that on my stats for season 11. It's gotta start over. Everyone's so much sweaty, and everyone's got like their it team right at the end. They're like, we gotta get the boys on. We gotta get so and so on. It's like you gotta carry us, and we gotta like get like help me. That's how I am. It's like I'm an average player. Okay, very average, basic Babu first person shooter. 110%. If you guys have been on my streams, you guys definitely know that. And if you guys have been off my streams, you guys definitely know that it doesn't get any better off stream. Sometimes I have my clutch moments though, and it's always off stream. But that's just how it is. Always. It's like
that's
dang.
The rule of life, I think.
Yep. It's like, wow, wish I was recording, but of course I'm not. But it is what it is. But that's it. The new legend that they have adding. I've been watching a ton of content creators' posts that have had early access to not only her, but they have access to the new control mode, the new mode that they're adding. Lulu has been playing it like crazy, and she was like, it's a blast. And I watched some. She obviously hasn't like released like full gameplay, but she's released like a couple clips, and based off of those clips, It looks so good, and it looks, based off of what I can tell, it looks balanced. Now the new legend doesn't necessarily seem super balanced, but the biggest thing, and I'll let you guys talk about that here in a second, like your thoughts on it. The biggest thing that I noticed was how everyone was making these assumptions from like the leaked files that we had found. They're like, oh, she's gonna have a shotgun for a leg. Oh, but you can only shoot it if you have shotgun ammo, like if you pick up shotgun ammo. And then what is her perk for shotguns? Oh, she runs faster. She doesn't have that, right? So it like changes. Could you imagine Mad Maggie with a shotgun leg with her tactical and her other passive and her ult? No. And her ult knocks people. Her ult does damage. You throw that thing. I saw a clip, and it was Nice Wig. Nice Wigs. I think it's literally Nice Wig. I think that's his handle. He's a big Apex streamer. He literally was in the firing range. They threw a Gibby dome down, and he threw her ult in there, and it stays inside, and it just knocks everybody in there. So not only can you throw that in there, but you can also throw her tactical on that and just like wipe everybody in there. Her tactical, though, I did watch somebody who was doing the damage on it. Her tactical, which is the I don't remember exactly what it's called, so shout out to me for being like super informed and knowing my stuff. I woke up literally not that long ago, okay, so everyone cut me some slack. But her tactical, you throw it on the wall, you can throw it on the dome, and it sprays basically like fire/lava, right? And somebody did that with the dummies in the firing range, but in order for you to actually get knocked by that, you literally have to stand in it the entire time. Like the entire time. Like you have to literally stand in it and not move. So if you get stuck, if you're looting and you get stuck on death boxes or on walls or on ramparts walls, you're screwed. But if you have like map awareness, if you have you're aware of your surroundings, I think that you can easily maneuver out of that. The only thing is if you are picking somebody up in a Gibby dome, or if you're rezzing somebody, that's going to cancel a res. That's going to be a huge like issue, is if you're rezzing somebody with that, because then you have to cancel out of your animation, and then you have to like get out of the way. So I don't know, it'll be interesting. Because I think it does the same, because by the time you pick somebody up, the person that you res, they're going to get hit twice, and then they're going to be knocked again. Or like once, and then they're going to be knocked again. So it's like, it's almost like impossible to like res somebody while that's going off, so you might as well just like dip out. So I don't know, it'll be interesting. But I wanted to hear, sorry, I will stop talking, and I will let you guys talk. I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on Mad Maggie, her abilities, her passives. Like how do you guys think people are going to use her? I feel like she could definitely be used as a super super aggressive, but I also think that you could use her as a passive character, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. But I'm gonna let you guys take it.
I don't particularly play Apex because the battle royales that I play a lot of Warzone. I just don't like a lot of extras within my battle royales. But I do play it, like I like having it so that I can play it with friends because we have fun, and that's what I like playing it for. I play it with my little brothers because I live away from home, so that's like how we hang out. So we'll hop on Apex, play a couple games. But from what it seems like, she could be used as a very aggressive like player, like very just get in there, get stuff done, kind of thing. But,
especially if she's carrying that shotgun. That's the thing, is all these players that are like shotgun gods. There's no hope. There's no hope for us. If you're a shotgun god, that is your character. Like we're screwed. We're screwed.
Call of Duty trauma gives me so much hatred for shotguns in any game whatsoever. Especially when I made a sniper. Oh god. Oh, it's the worst.
I feel that.
It's funny that you mentioned all of the pre stuff that was coming out on her, because when I heard all of the stuff that was starting to come out from people reading the back end of it, I was like, "There's no way this doesn't get nerfed." Like within the first week, boom, gone.
Yeah.
But it seems like where she's strongest now is very tactically designed, and it's very niche situations. So I don't see her getting maybe a small nerf, but I don't see her getting a massive nerf. in the first little while.
Yeah, no, not at all. The thing is I think and that's the thing is I don't know how much damage her ult does, right? Because the entire point of her ult is to like get in there, like knock stuff down, and like do damage to people, and it lands those little speed boosts. Now I haven't seen the speed boost in action, so I don't know how like fast she goes. And that's the other thing is like I don't know how fast she runs with her shotgun, right? Is it like when Bangalore gets shot at and she's got that extra little boost? Is it as fast as Octane? Like how? Like I haven't seen that yet, and I don't have like early access to it, so I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see because if anything gets nerfed, it'll be the amount of damage that something does, right? So like Caustic's traps, they got nerfed and then they got buffed again. So like they got nerfed to like only doing like 3 damage, 5 damage, or whatever, and then they got buffed to where they were adding like 1 damage every single time. So like the first time you got hit, it was 5. The second time you got hit, or like you're saying in his gas, it's 6, and the next time it's 7. So it increases like that. So that like he got a nerf and then a buff, and then with Mad Maggie, I honestly seeing like that's how her stuff is going to get nerfed. I don't see them like slowing her down on her passive. I don't see them like changing. Because all of her stuff is damage based, right? So like that's the only thing that you could really nerf with hers. Sorry, Yumba, I didn't mean to like butt in. If you had, I could see that you had something to say. Go ahead.
I'm over here. I'm reading up more on Maggie. Because I'm an Octane main, so I like to push. I'm not very passive when I play. Which causes a lot of issues in ranked because into ranked you can't push as much as much as I'd like to. It never ends well, especially if you're like solo queuing or if you're like duo queuing with a random. It just doesn't count. But I mean I don't know. I think first of all I just want to point out that whenever they release a new legend, they're always broken. They always need some sort of balancing because I mean it was the worst when Seer came out, and I didn't even play that season. I just saw how many people hated that legend.
Yeah, no.
They were so pissed. And then my buddy and I started playing ranked again, and he started using Seer, and I'm like, wow, yeah, I can see how people hated that character for a long time because even now he's still broken.
Yeah.
He puts Bloodhound to shame. But Maggie, I think I'm interested to see how playing her in ranked would work out. The speed boosts definitely would help because a lot of the fighting tends to be in like the first ring, especially in the storm. Because people are thirsty for that KP, so they will hang out in the storm for as long as they need to get a kill. And it's the worst thing. I hate it. I can't stand it. In the first ring, they're just hanging out in the storm, waiting for people to the stragglers, and I'm like, dude, are you serious right now? Like, can you set up somewhere else? But give me a chance.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. The riot drill looks interesting. Like you said, I hope it's not completely broken. The only good thing about that is, like you said, you have to stand in direct line with the lava or the fire that it spits out. So that's very situational. But I know you can like shoot it into doors and walls and stuff, and it'll actually penetrate through that. So that's going to be irritating. If you have like 6 squads on top of you, all with Maggies, you're screwed.
Yeah.
The passive looks interesting. Her 2 passives, I guess, the highlighting enemies you damage, and then the faster movement with shotguns. Like you said, anyone who's good with the shotgun, this is going to be their new main, I think.
Well, and it'll be interesting because a lot of people have been asking for like shotgun nerfs. Like everyone's like, can you please, and now they've introduced a character that has a perk with a shotgun, so it'll be interesting to see if they are able to like use Maggie as an excuse to lower the shotgun. But like the EVA 8, I used to bust down with the EVA 8, and the EVA 8 got like nerfed, and so it's like I don't even
that gun's useless.
I pick up Mozambique before I pick up EVA 8. Like I don't touch that. I get 21 damage with the EVA 8, and I'm like, all right, so now we gotta shake it. we need something new. And then the Volt is now going up in. Is going into the drop, the care package, right? Or is it what's being crafted? I don't remember what's being crafted.
I think it was the Vault.
The Vault, yeah, the Vault's going up in the package, and I could have sworn I read something about something happening with the longbow, but I could be completely wrong.
Please,
but
snipers are my thing.
I can't snipe. I got lucky that I got a sniper clip maybe every like once a week. I don't pick up a sniper. I don't look at a sniper. I'm like, not for me. Not for me. Kami though. Kami and we busted down in a game the other day, and I had the Kraber. I didn't get a single knock with the Kraber, but I did some damage. So
that's what matters. That's what matters.
If you're gonna do damage with a sniper, it's gonna be the Kraber. I did damage. I didn't get a single knock with it though. So
sometimes you pick up the longbow and you can just be so on point with it and hit everything and just smash. And then other times you pick it up and there's nothing.
Nothing.
You miss every single hit. Nothing.
Yeah. No.
Like, that's the thing. The longbow is like it's not a good weapon to like get kills with. It's a great weapon to get damage with. So if you're trying to get like that 2K badge for a legend, pick up the longbow. I generally play with a sniper. So my buddy he'll push, but I'll be doing damage from afar. So I'll end the game with like 3K damage and like one knock because the longbow is not good for actually getting the kill unless you're quick enough and their movement is horrible.
Yeah.
But if they get rid of the longbow, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, I don't think they are. For some reason I don't know, because I thought they were putting because the alternator's coming out, so they're bringing that. Which the thing is when they put it away, I would always swap the alt with something else. I would always, like, it was never I never was like, need the alternator. I never communicated to my team that I was like, hey, if you see the alternator, like, give that to me. Even when it drops in the care package, I'm not like, hey, alternator, yeah, for sure. Like, absolutely. No, like, I go with that, the 99 or the R3 with that. But I used to play a lot as Bangalore. Bangalore used to be like my big boy main. So I would do everything in my power to get a gun that had the gold sight, so I could smoke everything and anything and still see them. Especially if I didn't have a Bloodhound on my team. But my OG group was a Wraith, a Bloodhound, and a Bangalore. So we were always like scanning and shifting and moving and all that stuff, like, and being able to see smoking, like, everything. Like, that was when Apex first came out, that was our dream team, was those three legends. And now it's like to see like the meta, or whatever people want to call it, to see like the legends that people are using to like get stuff done. It's really interesting. And Gibby was a big part of it. Gibby was like, every single team had a Wraith, Bloodhound, and Gibby on it. There was one tournament that I was watching, somebody was streaming it and I was watching it, and I kid you not, that was everybody's team. It was those three. And everybody knew how to use them, and everybody knew how to like debunk them every single time. I think maybe one team had like a Octane instead of a Wraith or whatever, but it was always like those four legends. And now it's then Gibby kind of like dropped off because I think he got like a nerf on his shield, his like his hand armor shield, and then like now all of a sudden Gibby's like back. And everyone's like, we need a change on Gibby's bubble. That was the other thing, is like the leaked files, it said that there was going to be a change in Gibby's bubble. Well, the change is that there is now a legend. A massive counter. Who can like debunk it. We were in Chad Rail's stream, and he was talking about it, and like the theories that everybody was putting out, it was like, oh, his bubble, his dome's going to be smaller. It's going to be, the radius is going to be smaller. It won't be as tall. Arc stars are going to be able to like affect inside or outside. You know, like all like because everyone thought that it was a flashbang that she was getting, was a flashbang instead of this lava melter.
I remember that.
And so everyone's like, oh, maybe maybe the flash will affect, when you're in the bubble, or maybe the bubble's going to have like windows that you can shoot out of or shoot into. Maybe there's going to be like cracks in the bubble, or whatever it may be, something along the lines of that. And this is what we have. And I think her counter is great. I think it's a great, we have something that will work. So it'll be interesting. I feel like a lot of people are going to be using Gibby domes more for just like pure coverage and not going inside anymore, but it's just going to give that buffer, something that they can hide behind and still see out. So it'll be interesting.
I'm sad after watching the Maggie trailer. I'm sad that her ult isn't her throwing teeth at people, because that's what that needs to be. After that trailer, that's what that needs to be.
Yeah, she spit out so many teeth, and then she busted people's heads open with her teeth. Her ult also in the trailer, I don't know exactly how it works, because when I saw it in the Gibby dome, it was all over the place. It was literally bouncing all over the place and bouncing off the walls. I don't know how her ult exactly works, but when I watched it in the trailer, obviously that it's all animated. They've like made it that way, but it followed the legends. It followed them. She shot it in a line, it went down the stairs and immediately turned towards them. So if her ult is like that, like it tracks people, we're absolutely screwed. Nobody else's tracks unless you're manually doing it, right? Like you can't track people. Like Crypto's drone doesn't automatically track people. You have to fly it yourself. So that's how they're able to counter that, right? Well, with hers, I have no idea if hers actually like follows people, or if you shoot it in a straight line and then it maybe like goes towards some, or I have no idea. But it'll be interesting to see how like it actually plays, because all the clips I've seen, nobody's really put anything out. Everyone's like very hush hush about it. They're like, oh, super excited, like, oh, can't wait, or it's like literally like a 5-second video of people like laughing of them getting knocked by it or whatever. But there's no like, I haven't found any clips out there where it's like, hey, here's the breakdown of how it is, because everyone's waiting to release it until, you know,
it tracks people and it's super overpowered.
So it'll be really interesting to see how it works. But her ult is also like many in one, right? So like it does damage itself, it breaks it. I think it can like do damage to like traps and stuff like that. And then you're setting out little speed pads. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how her thing goes. But yeah, so that's there's Mad Maggie. So if you guys have anything else, do you guys have anything else you guys want to say about her, like the new season? Olympus, there's some changes to Olympus. And I don't think
ranked.
Kings Canyon's not being for ranked, right?
Yeah, it is.
It is for ranked?
It's gonna be Olympus, Stormpoint, and Kings Canyon.
Okay, so we will not be playing ranked next season. We will be playing only arenas for ranked.
Kings Canyon is dope. I love Kings Canyon.
Yes.
At least the OG Kings Canyon.
Yes. The OG Kings Canyon, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I will not play ranked on anything but I don't think it's going to be the OG Kings Canyon. Hopefully it is, but if it's not, there's no way. Yo, Skulltown, even the arenas, they got rid of the arenas Skulltown map. And don't get me wrong, when Valkyrie came out, because I think it was that, everyone was like abusing it. Everyone was abusing that. And it's like, I can't get up. I literally can't get up. I can't get on top, because you have to be at the top. And then you're just sitting there on the top shooting each other, and it's like, I can't. And Valkyrie was just like, here you go. And it's like, all right, sweet. So I'll go cry, and I'm going to hide underneath. And then when you guys are ready to come down to the floor, we'll be able to duke it out on even terms.
We'll be able to get this game going.
Yeah. But until then, you guys stay up there. I'll be underneath waiting. And then my Caustic on my team will set up traps, and then we'll get you. But yeah, no, it'll definitely be interesting to see all the changes. There's definitely going to be nerfs. There's definitely going to be buffs. Crypto's getting a buff with his drone. I'm really excited to see that. Also, I think Crypto in his all black skin, very, very nice to look at. Okay, just gonna put that out there. I think Crypto is very nice to look out, and shout out to Daddy Fuse. We love you. I'm a Fuse main, so like it'll be interesting to see how Maggie and Fuse like go with each other and against each other. Because they could be a cool duo or a cool trio, but I don't know what the new meta characters are gonna be. So because Gibby's kind of gonna be, if people are, because everyone's gonna be using Mad Maggie at the beginning, of course, like, right? So anybody playing Gibby, you're kind of screwed. Anybody playing Rampart, you're kind of screwed. Anybody playing Caustic, you're kind of screwed. If you come across somebody who knows how to play Maggie and can rotate you well with that. So we'll see. I think that was the other thing, is I think she could also be a passive character as well, depending on the player. So you can rotate people with her ult. You can push people, the other team, to where you need them to go, as well with her tactical. And she, if you're a sniper, you could sit back and just snipe people off with that, or you can sit back and like pick people off if you wanted to. You can go in and like push, and then you can rotate out with your team, or you can be in the back just adding support, or you can go balls to the walls with a shotgun, set all your stuff up, and just start blowing things to bits. And then Octane or Pathfinder can rotate behind. Bloodhound can be scanning. Everybody knows where you're at. So it'll be interesting, because you can use people with her stuff to rotate people like and break the traps down so your team can get in and push. So if you're not a super like aggressive player, right? So I think that she's going to be good for both people who play passively and play not at, like more support. Let me not say passively, because when I think passively, I think of people who are like not a lot of people play aggressive with Loba. They play aggressive with Loba, but a lot of people don't play aggressive with Loba. They'll set their thing up and then they'll use that as a shield, her black market. But like she almost every single time a Loba's the first to dip out. Almost every single time. I watch her. She does her little bracelet, and it's like, okay, there's Loba. She'll be back in like 15 minutes after she's done healing up her shield or whatever it may be. I'm not worried about her. Let me take care of the other two or whatever it may be. So it'll be. But there are some aggressive Loba players out there, like aggressive, and it's like, all right, I get it. I get it. Okay, sure, fine, whatever. Do your finisher on me. See if I care. Whatever. Give the people what they want. So it'll be interesting to see. I think that you could play her more as a support, more as like a passive, and not as aggressive. But you also could literally go balls to the walls and like just destroy people in there. Because I feel like a lot of Rampart mains that I have talked to, they rely heavily on their shields. Rampart is a really good, in my opinion, a really good legend to help people get like used to the game, if that makes sense. They can get a good feel of it. They can see like how other people, because you've got your shields, so you can take a little bit more damage to like figure out how you want to play. You have your Sheila. You can do that, and now you can run with your Sheila. So I don't know. It's interesting. So yeah, I digress. We literally haven't even started on our freaking script, and here we are. And here we are. But it is what it is. So with that being said, I know we're like at 30, but we'll just keep going. On to our actual first point. But yeah, so one of our big things is that we've got a ton of movies coming out this year, and a ton of movies have already come out. And one of those movies that's come out is Scream, that came out January 14th. There have been some interesting reviews about it, but that's the way of that type of horror movie, right? So I haven't seen it, so I can't sit there and say that I love it or hate it. I have seen the trailer, so I can go off of that. But we've got a ton of new movies coming out. We've got Jackass is coming out, or already came out a couple days ago. It came out on the 4th. We've got the Uncharted movie, which is huge. Like, I see ads for that everywhere, on my Instagram, on my TikTok, on like I get ads for it on Twitch. Like, it's all over the place. That's coming out on the 18th, and then in March there's a ton more, and we can go over those as well. But in March, like March 4th, the new Batman movie is coming out, so that'll be interesting. I've heard that a lot of people are excited about it, but I've also heard like a lot of people are not excited about it.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
The Batman one.
I grew up watching Robert Pattinson in Twilight, so every time I see his name, all I see is
Sparkly Edward.
Sparkly Edward in vampires, and I don't know, but it's a thing of a lot of very great actors and actresses. They can play varying roles like that. Like, I like to use Zendaya as an example, right? I very much love the show Euphoria, and she does a very good job of obviously she's not a drug addict in real life, but if you didn't know that and you just saw her in that role, you'd be like, wow, she must really and she can go from doing that and to playing MJ in the Spider-Mans, or like I grew up watching her on Shake It Up on Disney Channel, and it's like so many people, like actors and actresses have that ability to just switch with whatever they're doing. Like Leonardo DiCaprio is another good example. Kristen Stewart, even people are always like she's boring, she doesn't show emotion, and da 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 da. I'm like, but that's the role she's playing. Like Bella, if you like read the books, Bella's not very expressive, and I have a great appreciation for people who have that ability to like be like, okay, I can play this role, but then I can go and in my next like film play something completely different. I just think it's really cool.
She was really good in. She played Princess Diana, and she was
Yes.
fantastic in that. I thought that was brilliant. She did such a good job with that. She was fantastic.
She plays in this movie on Hulu. It was really big, like a couple years, like not last year, but the year before last during Christmas. It's called like Happiest Season, and it was so good. It was amazing. Like she did so well, which is another like point I like to make. You know, here in like the past few years, like for me as a member of like the LGBT community, seeing like all like the representation that we've been getting in the past couple of years, like even in the gaming industry, you know, that's why I hold The Last of Us so close to me, is because, you know, we as a community, you know, like it's more accepted than it used to be, but with like movies and games, like we're seeing more representation, like as far as that goes, you know, and it's nice to see. It's something that I would have wished, you know, I wish I could have had when I was a kid, you know, but I'm glad that, you know, younger generations now are having that and seeing that as like, you know, maybe this isn't like, you know, an spooky thing, you know, as a lot of people are like, oh, you're bad, you whatever, but it's just cool.
It's interesting you say that, because I'm on a big Tick Tick Boom kick right now. And that obviously takes place in the 90s when the whole thing with the AIDS pandemic and everything else was going on, and it was just really interesting to see the stark contrast of where that is, and that was just the 90s, which doesn't seem that long ago, but it's like night and day to the way that people are treated. It's insane.
And I mean, you know, like it's much better now than it used to be, but there's still progress that needs to be made. You know, it's like every other minority group. It's always going to be tough. It's always going to be hard. And it's like people, you know, people are always like, well, it's a choice. And I'm like, trust me, if I could choose not to be like this, I would. Because if I could save myself all the trouble and all the, you know, all the mean, nasty, icky people, I for sure would. But it is what it is. And, you know, you just got to move along.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it's also interesting to see how the games, like the gaming industry, has come along, because like they started having games where you can like customize your character however you want, sure, but now they've started putting out a lot more. They've been starting out putting single player games, campaign games, where that is like a part of the story. You know, it's not you know, you just get to like make a character how you feel like it's going to represent yourself, or you make a character however you want, right? It's now like, oh, like we are getting like mainstream games, like the big companies are like making this, but they're not like shoving it down people's throat. They're not like, oh, here, like it's super subtle, and they're doing it in like a very normal way. They're like, hey, like here's our game, here you go. This is normal. Like it's they're doing, in my opinion, what I've seen, they're doing a really good job like normalizing it, right? And it's not like, oh, like, and in their commercials, they're not like, and now you can do this. It's like, it's not like anything like that. It's like super subtle, and they're making it normal. Like they're normalizing it. So it's I think kudos to that.
World of Warcraft did a fantastic job of this. They had when you go through your character, you can obviously put between male and female. But if you played the game I played it for 16 years. Throughout that time, you might want to shift that, and your character is an extension of yourself, and for most people, and you might want to change. And that was always against the paywall. So they said, well, we're going to take that out. Why do you need to pay to swap your gender? So just boom, you can just go into any barber in the game and just swap your gender and identify with whatever you identify with. And that's such a subtle change, but it really makes a massive impact for people that just want to be free to be themselves.
Right.
So it's nice.
Well, and a lot of people. Like, sorry, go ahead.
You touched on like, you know, how subtle it is, you know, and back to The Last of Us 2, you know, if you've played that, Ellie, you know, it's never like in that game they never like blatantly say, hey, this person is this. They just touch on it, and you just it's coasting from there. Like an extension from the first game, I think it's Left Behind extension. That's when you kind of, you know, they kind of throw it out there that, you know, Ellie, the main character, is into women. So as a kid, I saw that and I was like, let's go. Like, this is cool. This is awesome. But then in the second one, you have this transgender character named Lev, you know, and he's a kid, and, you know, they don't flat out say it. I mean, when you're playing as Abby and, Abby's like asking him all these questions and she's like, okay, Lev and his sister throughout the whole game are running from the scars because of what Lev did. Lev, cut off all of his hair and they were like, okay, well, you can't do that, da 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 da. But, it's just, I do like how it's subtle because it gives people the ability to be like, okay, well, you're not shoving this down my throat, and it's more open for people. That way they can make their own decision and be like, okay, well, like, this is, I'm down with this, like, let's roll with it. But again, like, that's why the Last of Us series is one of my favorite series, because they're very good about LGBT representation, and they do it in a very positive, kind way, which a lot of the time in like mainstream TV and stuff like that, it's not as positive, it's not as nice. 99% of the time it's over sexualized.
Or it's forced.
And so
Yeah.
it's forced. Like, don't get me wrong, I also love Euphoria, but some of the ways that the main character Rue and her partner Jules are portrayed, it's just very toxic and very just gross, and just I love them, they're both great characters, but at the same time, a lot of mainstream media portrays it in a way that it's just over sexualized, especially like in women liking women relationships. That's a big like negative aspect and stuff. So that's why, and I think even like the gaming world, like that, like is literally the best like place to represent something like that, because they always do it in a good way, they always do it in a clean way, and it's always there's I forget what it's called, I think it's like Tell Me Why, and it's like a co-op like story game, and one of the main characters that you like can play as is a trans man. Unpacking. There's like a bi character in the Unpacking game, and it's and you just see more and more things every day, like League of Legends. I don't know if anybody plays League of Legends or has, but they're even showing that representation in ways they probably don't even know. Like, their world song was performed and done by my favorite band, Paris, which the lead singer of that band is a queer woman. So that was just really cool to see. And that's a huge game. Like, a lot of people play it, and just giving the community a platform like that is just really, really cool to see, and the progression that it's made. So
yeah, no, for sure, and it's nice to see that there are communities, there are studios that are listening, right? And they're like, okay, like we're gonna do what we can to like normalize it, put like shed light on it, and like we hear you, right? And that it's really, I think a lot of companies are doing it really well, and I do think that like there is a fine line, like with the TV with the TV industry. They're always, any woman on woman, they're always going to over sexualize it, period.
Yeah,
because it's a huge need, like there's a huge thing for it, and they're like, we're gonna get all the horny men to watch this. This is how we do it. Well,
it's like,
it's like, okay,
you do it like that, it's like, did any of you ever watch like the 100?
I did. Yep.
Okay, so the Lexa and Clark relationship, we were all rooting for it. I was here for that so bad. And then literally, like, it's literally, I kid you not, 5 minutes after they give us, the big, like, boom that we all have been wanting for, 3 seasons, they kill off Lexa. And I was like, are you serious? You give us what we want, but then she's like, Ixnade, and I'm like, wow, bro. Like, this is so, and it's like, so many shows like that, dude. I'm like, the endings are just so bad. Like, people all the time, they're like, like, I've heard the last season of Game of Thrones was pretty bad. I'm like, we don't talk about it.
Yeah,
we don't. Yeah,
we're talking about
that last season.
Especially when my favorite character is Khaleesi. Like, I mean, my dog is named Khaleesi.
Oh,
like,
they did her so dirty in that last season.
I
haven't seen it yet. I was starting to watch it when everyone was like, stop, don't watch it. The last 2 seasons aren't worth it. I was like, okay. I was like, all right.
It's worth watching. But
the ending is going to make you so angry, and the fact that they only gave us I think it was like 6 episodes. I was like, "Are you fucking really?"
Yeah.
They rushed it. They so rushed it, and there was there was all that stuff with like the Starbucks cup, and there was just no attention to detail.
That
It
was
just
so funny.
rush, get it done, get it finished, get it going.
Yeah.
Like, no, man,
You
that's
know,
not what
and,
we
and,
wanted.
and one of the main points people like made like in the end of the show, they were like, well, what happened had to happen. And I'm like, not necessarily. I'm
No,
like,
not really.
you know, they could have, in a way, like, you know, saved her, but it is what it is, I guess. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, her bloodline and her, you know, family is not known to be the nicest and the best at solving problems.
Well, stable.
Stable. A little mentally ill. But
Yeah.
it's okay.
A little mentally ill.
Casually.
But they just, you know, I hate like when shows and movies do that. They like take, you know, all this time and all these years like building this character and doing so much, because like if you watch Game of Thrones from start to finish, you know, Dany starts out as somebody who's very fragile and just very like just easily manipulated by
naive.
Naive, and but you see her like even in just like the first season, you see her start growing and growing and growing, and then she's like this complete badass character with dragons, and you know, she has her army and she's like the queen, and she has all these people that are like, ooh, you know, but then they just completely, I like to say, shit on it. They literally take it and just right on it in the last season, and it's just, you know, and so many of the other like shitty characters got such better like, you know, passings and things like that, and it's just like Jaime and Cersei did not deserve to die the way they did. It was just, it made me so angry. I was just like, are you kidding? They got that, and then she got this, and then to have Jon Snow be the one to be like, psh, I was like, wow, nice.
It'd be like that sometimes.
He's like, you're my queen forever, and then he, like, I was like, wow, all right, bud.
No, I get that. Thank you all for watching. Greatly appreciate you guys. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for joining us on our very first podcast. This is part 1 of everything. We will have our part 2 of this podcast. It will release on Friday, and that date for you is going to be Friday the 11th. So you guys will catch this whole group again on Friday. So make sure you guys tune in to that. And if you guys liked it, give it a like. If you guys didn't like it, I'm so sorry. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you guys can see when the next podcasts are coming out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I greatly appreciate it.